without further delay, let me introduce you to our first speaker, Sultan Al-Hajji, who is the Deputy General Manager of Total Abu Al Bukhoosh and in charge of the corporate support function, which includes responsibility for human capital, diversity, sustainable development, and corporate social responsibility. He's the coordinator of Total UAE Human Resources and Communication. And under his leadership, Total ABK won the prestigious Dubai Human Development Appreciation Award in 2007. He, as an individual, won the HR Professional of the Year in the Middle East, HR Summit Excellence Awards 2009. Sultan is actively involved in various local, regional and international forums and events related to HR, the CSR, diversity and communication, and is a promoter of emiratisation and feminization. He is credited with pioneering the achievement of establishing the Total Academy for training and developing young UAE nationals to make them employable in the oil and gas industry. Now, amongst other things, he's the Vice President of the Alliance Française, Abu Dhabi, and Chairman of the Management and Administration Committee of the Higher College of Technologies. He was elected a who's who personality of the world in 1999. He's an accomplished presenter on management, leadership and human capital development, and he's been a speaker, panelist, moderator and participant in live talk shows at events in the UAE, Europe and the USA. Sultan Al-Hajji holds a Bachelor in Political Science and Public Affairs from the University of Miami and a higher diploma in Human Resources from the École Supérieure in Paris. Before I invite him to come up, let me just please tell you that unfortunately Sultan has to leave pretty soon after his speech. So we will be taking questions from him, but he will not be represented at the panel at the end of the morning session. So, with no further ado, please, Sultan Al-Hajji.
Thank you, Joanna. Thank you, Steve, for the words. I'm humbled. I don't know if I've worth all the things, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I really do thank you for coming this morning despite the traffic jams coming from Dubai or from Abu Dhabi. And some of you have to take airplane, but it's a lovely place to see you here. Thank you. Respected Conference Chair, Mr. Steve Brand, and my dear delegates from broad spectrum of business, Assalamu alaikum. When the organizer contacted me for delivering the keynote, they had put forward their ideas about the theme of conference. I was really impressed with their concept of an overview of the reasons. But what impressed me more was the simplicity with which they asked me to correlate human capital challenges with respect to the complex and complicated topics like management, strategy, economy, and etc. I got plenty of ideas to share. All I had to decide on their choice. However, one point I was sure about, that the solutions for most of the challenges will be found in human capital. The enormity of human capital management is proportional to the challenges on hand for the industry. To start with, I will just touch on the issues of world reeling from economic downturn that started since 2007 and originated in the United States. The forward pace and upward directions of global economy then was not predicted by even the best brains of economics. The world was caught totally unprepared for that growth. And when the global crisis did strike, as the same best brains were not able to give us an explanation why and how it happened. What an irony. When the housing bubble collapsed in the United States had its cascading effect on the securities linked to real estate pricing, eventually giving our world a hugely damaging financial crisis. So what happened as the crisis struck? For the industry giants, the line of business, technology, products, and services, customers, all remain changed. All of you are here, your company is here, your assets are here, your industry is here. What happened at the top? It's only impacted the CEOs who could take control of these giant financial corporations. Some of you may say we were looking for scapegoats. Or to prove my prediction, in their quest to find solutions, the industry turned to look for pragmatic management of human capital. Mind you, the earlier CEOs had not dropped from the sky. They were also weakened as a consequences of another crisis which happened in 1987. They too were in place due to their established knowledge and excellent track records. Still, change was necessary. The change that the business needed would come from a different human capital. To move a little deeper into the subject of financial crisis, it had three distinct characteristics. It was unpredictable, it carried a massive impact, and after it happened, we could come up with detailed explanation to show that, in fact, it was more predictable and not random or appropriate. There's movies, books, authors, conferences to explain to us how it happened and why it happened in detail. These characteristics clearly match what I call the black swan of Nassim Nicholas Taleb, and some of you have read the book, of course. To quote Wikipedia, what it says about swan theory, the black swan theory. The disproportionate role of high impact, hard to predict, and rare events that are beyond the realm of normal expectations in history, science, finance, and technology. The non-compatibility of the probability of the consequential rare events using scientific methods, owing to their very nature of small probabilities, and the psychological biases that make people individually and collectively blind into uncertainty and aware of the massive role of the rare events in historical affairs. Unlike the earlier philosophical black swan problem, the black swan theory refers only to unexpected events of large magnitude and consequences and their dominant role in history. Such events, considered extreme outliers, collectively play vastly larger than the regular occurrences. That's what Wikipedia defined the black swan theory. Just to recap the characteristics of the black swan: rarity, extreme impact, and retrospective predictability. At present, I will not go further into this deep theory, black swan, they are not just negative, by the way. There are positive events, such like Google, Facebook, Amazon.com, and so forth. I will mention one more black swan here, and that is one concerning the industry I work with, which is responsible for the modern Middle East economy, the oil industry. Just before the global financial crisis, a leading business magazine of international repute and cover page in bold letters says that oil prices will reach $200 by year end. The editor was very smart. He had put in very thin font a question mark at the end of that headline. The oil prices then were threatening to breach $150 level. A black swan event. For the best brains of the oil industry, it was unpredictable. It carried a massive impact, and after it happened, they could come up with a detailed explanation to show that. In fact, it was more predictable and not a random or abrupt. In both cases, economic downturn and peak price oil, we were caught unaware. The oil companies were very happy with the price, but not fully prepared themselves to brace for such a situation. Some of them had to put added effort to absorb this added revenue. For next annual budget, were prepared quite generously from their existing ones. Actually, in Abu Dhabi, the salary scale was changed to adapt to this new revenue comes.